Tonight, South Carolina Republicans have decided who they want to send into the November election for U.S. Senate. Senator Darlene Graham has won tonight's special Republican primary runoff, defeating Congressman Ralph Norman. Here's a look at the ballot numbers tonight. Darlene Graham, the projected winner in that race with 52% of the vote. Ralph Norman raking in 48%. Well, Graham came into tonight's runoff after finishing first in the August 11th special primary. Though she did not win the majority needed to avoid a runoff. She was appointed to the U.S. Senate following the death of her brother, longtime South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. During this campaign, Graham focused on her outsider status and President Trump's endorsement.
And I understand the struggles facing South Carolina families because I've faced them too. As your senator, I will continue to work to grow our economy and put South Carolina families first.
Meanwhile, a different outcome tonight for Congressman Ralph Norman. His bid to move from the U.S. House to the U.S. Senate comes to an end. Norman has been a familiar name in South Carolina politics for years, having served in the South Carolina House before winning a seat in Congress. He entered this special election looking to move from the House to the Senate, pointing to his years of experience as an elected official. Well, tonight that bid comes to an end, but not before questioning Trump's endorsement of Darlene.
As I told, I never, y'all, his policies are good. I never understood why he got in this race to beat, but it is what it is, and I'll accept it. We will, something good, and I've always said something good will come out of this. I don't know what it is, but something good will come out of it.
Now that the Republican nominee has been decided, Graham will face Democrat Dr. Annie Andrews in November. Andrews says she is running to fight for South Carolina families and children she believes have been left behind by Washington politicians. A Democrat has not won a U.S. Senate race in South Carolina since the late Fritz Hollings. In a recent conversation with our sister station in Myrtle Beach, Andrews was asked about the challenge ahead and why she believes she can win in November.
Looking for change. They're looking for a fighter who will wake up every day and fight for South Carolina. They're looking for a leader who will talk about the actual problems of the day, like our cost of living emergency and our broken healthcare system. And what they're hearing from the current candidates on the Republican side in this race is nothing more than slogans, no solutions, and people are seeing through that. They're ready for change, and that's what I'm offering.
We will have a full breakdown on tonight's election on our website, wsav.com/election. HQ. Well, new tonight, flock cameras are designed to help law enforcement track down suspects and solve crimes. Now, the technology is under new scrutiny in Savannah after allegations it was misused by people trusted to use it. WSAV's Isabella Baez explains why a privacy advocate says more safeguards may be needed.
Well, Tina, policy analyst Matthew Gugarelia saying officers should be required to have a judge-issued warrant to have access to flock camera information. Now, this comes after multiple officers and deputies across the state have been accused of misusing the technology, including right here at home.
As long as there has been police technologies like Flock, police have been finding ways to abuse it.
Matthew Gugarelia is a senior policy analysis for EFF, or the Electronic Frontier Foundation. He tracks and evaluates emerging police technology and how they impact civil liberties, such as flock cameras, a technology that has gained popularity yet has raised concerns, including locally. Earlier this month, 6 Savannah Police Department employees were fired, and now 4 are being investigated for flock misuse.
This technology has proven so easy to abuse because it collects, in some cities, hundreds of thousands of records of individual plates and where they go in a day, and police can just sit down on their computer and search for those plates without a warrant from a judge.
Gugarelia saying if officers were required to have a warrant, it might not totally eliminate misuse, but would be a step in the right direction.
It's really important that cities begin to implement warrant requirements for police using this technology. So they have to go to a judge, they have to present their evidence on an individual as to why they might have committed a crime and then get a warrant signed by a judge before they can even use this tech.
Tuesday, City of Savannah Mayor Van Johnson held his weekly press conference. He addressed the recent arrest of the 4 SPD employees, saying that those officers will be held accountable.
We entrusted these individuals with advanced technology and even more importantly, with the public's trust. Our promise remains the same, it remains strong, that no one is above the law.
This investigation remains active and ongoing by the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. Isabella Baez, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Isabella, thank you. Now to a murder case we've been following for 5 years. Messiah Anderson is the last of 5 suspects to face trial in the 2021 killing of former Bluffton High School football player DJ Fields. Anderson's trial was set to begin today with a jury already seated. Instead, the case is now on hold after a judge ruled a key witness does not have to testify. Well, prosecutors wanted Jimmy Green, who is already serving 40 years in the case, to take the stand. Solicitor Duffy Stone says Green's previous plea shows he admitted to acting with others in the killing.
He pled not only to murder, but he also pled to what's called in South Carolina mob violence in the first degree. That is when 2 or more people work together to commit a violent crime. Well, this is the 3rd person in that line, and our position is he's already pled to a mob statute saying that he did this with 2 other people. And my intention was to clarify who the other 2 people were.
Stone says he plans to appeal the ruling to the South Carolina Supreme Court. There is no timetable yet for when Anderson's trial could resume. Making national headlines tonight, fans are mourning the loss of country music icon Dolly Parton, who died today at 80 years old. Her legacy stretches far beyond Tennessee. Some of the most personal and memorable chapters of her life and career have ties right here in Georgia. Her team confirmed the death and said the star had faced a brief battle with cancer. Parton eloped with her late husband Carl Dean in Ringgold, Georgia in 1966, beginning a marriage that would last nearly 59 years. Georgia also played a role in her career. Parton performed in Belleville in 1975, shortly after leaving Porter Wagoner to launch her solo career. Now, decades later, several of her film and television projects were shot across the state, including Joyful Noise, Heartstrings, and A Coat of Many Colors. Her death comes after Parton announced in May that she was canceling a Las Vegas show and had been undergoing treatment for kidney stones for several years. During her more than 60-year career, Parton sold more than 100 million records and won 11 Grammy Awards, making her one of the best-selling musical performers of all time. New tonight, more improvements are on the way to Statesboro's famous Blue Mile. The next phase could bring changes aimed at easing traffic, improving walkability, and bringing more business downtown. WSAV's Evan Smoke shows us what's planned.
The project is Phase 2 of streetscape improvements for the road and will run from the end of Phase 1 at the Fair Road intersection to the Statesboro Regional Library. Changes include new drainage improvements, sidewalk repairs, and landscaping. City officials say the hope is that the improvements will help drive business to downtown Statesboro.
I think all in all, it is also a driver. It's kind of an economic boost for downtown to make the street look a lot more inviting and invite pedestrians to come use that area. We're also adding a bus stop as well. I think I failed to mention, but that is near the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Deal also says new lanes will be added to help traffic.
Jones Avenue and Grady Street, neither street has turn lanes where it intersects with South Main. And on Grady Street, we have the police department, we also have EMS, we have fire department. And so the addition of a left turn lane on both sides of Grady and Jones, we think will help traffic.
Construction on the project is not slated to begin until the end of 2027, but the city wants to hear from residents before the design is finalized.
We want to give the public a chance to ask questions and look at it. We're not completely finished with the design. We're close to being finished with the design, and we're about to enter the phase where we start acquiring right-of-way for the project. So we felt like this would be the best time for people to ask questions and bring up any concerns that could be addressed, during the final stages of the design.
If you missed Tuesday's meeting, there are still ways to give feedback. We will have that information on our website, WSAV.com. Reporting in Statesboro, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.